this. Don't like crap. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, and let me know down in the comments how has your guys' day been. So how are you guys? Are you doing well? And if you are, let me know in the comments. But in today's video, we're going to be teaching you guys how to dial a scooter. And in bigger channels, let's just say Raymond, maybe Roman Della Pena, and all of those bigger channels have gotten requests on how to dial a scooter. And so today, I'm going to teach you how to dial a scooter at your house. So let's get right on to the video. Alright, so if you're like me and you have the MV Prodigy S8 scooter, then in this video you're only gonna need 3 tools. 3 tools only. So the first 2 tools are gonna be 2 5mm Allen keys, and the other tool is gonna be a 6mm Allen key. And if you get the Prodigy S8, like I said, you should get the 6mm Allen key in your manual's guide, in that like little bag. Alright, so let's get on to how to dial your scooter. Alright, so of course, go to your mom's tool bench, your dad's tool bench, your brother's tool bench, your sister's tool bench, even your neighbor's dog's tool bench. Just get some tools from wherever you can. 2 5mm, and 1 6mm. Alright, so I'm gonna piece by piece take apart some of the things that'll start making noise on your scooter, and then I'll tell you how to fix those parts. Alright, so before we get into this video, your scooter, when it is dialed, it should sound like this. And when your scooter is not dialed, it should sound like this. And doesn't it just sound terrible? I mean, who really wants that? But anyways, I will have a few different noises, and here will be how to fix them. And fun fact, when your scooter is dialed, it will last longer, rather than when it's not dialed. So, I'm gonna undial my scooter in different parts, and then I'm gonna teach you guys how to fix them and dial them. So, let's get right onto it. And also, just when you're gonna drop test your scooter, don't do it way too high. Drop it maybe like 2 inches off the ground, like this. Don't drop it like this. Don't like crap. Yeah, don't drop it like that. Just drop it like 2 inches from the ground. Sound number 1. This right here is probably the loudest sound on your scooter that you will probably ever hear, and it's no biggie. It's just your wheels. So let's go ahead and tighten them all the way down. But first, before we do that, a way to figure this out is by tapping on your wheels, and if you can hear movement or wiggle room, then you want to tighten them. So I don't know if you guys can hear that way too well, but if you can hear that wiggle movement, you want to tighten that all the way down. And you can also slap by your headset. It should make a noise, and that indicates it's your wheels. Also, for the back one, if you hear any movement or noise, then that means you need to tighten down your wheels. So let's do that. Alright, so here's where your 2 5mm Allen keys come in handy. So, you put one in one side and one in the other. And as you guys should probably know, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So, then you're going to tighten it all the way until you can't tighten it anymore. And as you can see, if you take out your tools and you try to wiggle your wheel around, it shouldn't make too much movement. There you go. So let's hop on to the back wheel. Alright, so for the back wheel, same thing, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Put one in, And again, you tighten until you can't tighten anymore. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a drop test now that both wheels are tightened down. All right, now that the wheels are both tightened down, let's give it a drop test. Look at that, it sounds 20 times better and you're back in business. Let's get on to sound 2. Sound number 2. Alright, so this noise right here is really often confused with the wheels, but it's actually just your brake. So, let's go ahead and fix that. Alright, so for this one, if you have the Prodigy S8 like I do, you're going to have one bolt right here, and it's going to be a 5mm Allen key. So, again, let's just tighten it to the right all the way down, and you will have to keep on taking it in and out just to tighten it down. If you feel it start to get tight, you're going to go just a bit over the tightness. And then that will allow your brake to function normally, but you should see no left and right movement. So, let's give this a drop test and we'll see how it sounds now. Okay, so here's what it sounds like when you have tightened down your brake. It sounds like your scooter is dialed. Let's get on to sound 3. Sound number 3. Alright, so this sound in your scooter is your compression. And don't click off this video right now and do I need a new compression and all that. People usually freak out over the word compression. Don't get stressed out about it. It's really not that big of a deal, and it's so much simpler than you think it is. But I'm gonna let you guys know right now a few ways to look out if your compression needs to be tightened. You're gonna step on your brake and wiggle your bars back and forth. And if you see movement in your fork, that means you need to tighten your compression. But if you don't see that in your fork and only in your bars, that means you need a new clamp. And a way that you know how you need a new clamp, how I have a gap in between there. Sorry, it's getting dark out, but if you can see, I have a little gap in between my clamp right here. And if you do not have this and your clamp is just about touching or is touching, you're gonna need a new clamp. But if it's not touching, that is what you want, and that means your clamp is fine, it's just your compression. So, let's tighten your compression, and then your scooter should sound dialed. Okay, so how you're gonna tighten your compression on your Prodigy S8 is, first of all, you're gonna grab your 6mm Allen key, and then you're gonna take off your bars, and you should be left with 2 bolts, like that. Put them off to the side in a super safe place so that they don't get lost. And then what you're gonna do from there is you're just gonna take off your bars. That's simple. So you should have your bars at this point, and you should have your deck at this point. So when your compression is not good and it's not tightened, it should sound like this. Right? Okay, so on the Prodigy S8, there's an ICH compression. This is what it looks like, and there's a little bolt in the top. Sorry about the cars in the background, but there's a bolt back there. And then all you're gonna do from here is hold on to your wheel, and then you're gonna put it in and tighten it down. Do not tighten it down way too hard, or else your bars won't be able to spin. You won't be able to do tail whips and bar spins. Tighten it to where it's just perfect, and you are gonna have to fiddle around with this because everyone likes their scooters looser or tighter in their own ways. So go ahead and mess around with it. And once you think it's good, you're gonna give it a little drop test on the ground. And when it sounds dialed, that means you can put your bars back on, tighten the bolts back up, and go ride, because your scooter is now dialed. And then you're gonna go back to your 6mm Allen key to tighten your bolts back onto your scooter. So let's do that right now. And one little tip when you are tightening your bars back up, tighten your bolts together like one by one by one and go back and forth, and this will help keep your clamp stay and not go bad. once you have your bars tightened again and your bolts back on, you should do a drop test. And your scoop should sound dialed. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down if your day was good. Remember that at the beginning. But I love you all, and have a great day.